Good day, everyone. I want to welcome you to Paid2Save. This is an amazing, exciting time to be a part of one of the largest opportunities we'll ever see in our lifetime. And we're so blessed to have you part of our company. What we're going to do today is we're going to help you fast start your business and help you start your business on the right foot for your success, for you and your family. And so to begin, what you got to do is make a decision. The first thing you want to do is make a decision and have long-term vision. And when you make that decision, you will go through mistakes as you build your business, and it's okay. We all go through mistakes. It's part of the process. Mistakes doesn't make you a failure unless you quit. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. So have long-term vision and get your mind in the right direction, because that's actually about 70 to 80% of the battle is how you think. And I don't believe in a try. Try is for losers. You do or you do not. There is no such thing as try. It's like me saying, hey, I'm going to try to get out of bed today. Or I'm going to try to eat my lunch today or my dinner. Or I'm going to try to go brush my teeth. No, you do it or you do not. And success is the same exact thing. You either make it happen or you don't. Now, do we all make mistakes? Absolutely. We all make mistakes. Every single one of us. And the difference between someone extremely successful and someone who's never had success is the one who's extremely successful has just made a lot more mistakes than the person who's not as successful. And that's really the difference between the two. So if you're going through challenges and you're making mistakes, that means you're setting yourself up to win and to win big, as long as you're learning from the challenges and mistakes you make. And understand this, there's always challenges and storms of life, but a storm doesn't make you a failure unless you quit. See, a storm does one of two things. It either makes you better at what you're doing or it makes you bitter. We get to choose our choice. So what do you want to be? You want to be better, or do you want to get bitter because of the storm? If you learn from it, you will become better and you will evolve, and you'll knock this out of the park for you and your family. So have long-term vision. Don't be afraid of the process. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built brick by brick, day by day. And so is your lifestyle. It's just one brand partner at a time, day by day, inch by inch is always a cinch. And when you understand that, and you understand that you will always make it if you have long-term visions. This is a 3 to 5 year plan for your success. And yes, you can make a whole lot of money along the way, but understand this is a 3 to 5 year plan. And so if you're having challenges and you've been involved for only 3 to 6 months, well, you still got a few more years to go. And it's just like college. You got to go to college for 8 to 10 years to get a degree. And then you got to pay off the student loans. Then you got to go work for someone else to raise enough money until you can start your own business or your own practice if you got in the medical industry. And then you're up and running. And it absolutely boggles my mind that how people can get involved in one of the greatest opportunities, and yet their first week or two in the business, it's a couple people tell them no, and they feel like they're not going to have success. That is so not true. And so understand, just have long-term vision, and you'll always knock it out of the park. Now, I'm going to close up with this first section of welcome you to the fast start of Paid2Save. I want to share something with you that's important for your success. And that's you need to develop you. The more you develop you, the more you grow, the more you will increase your law of attraction. So how do you increase that? How do you increase your success? Well, you increase your success through reading. Just like if you go to the gym and you're working out in the gym, you increase your success physically. Well, if you want to create your success financially, then you got to grow your mind. How do you grow your mind? You got to read. So you need to read books like communication. You want to read books like emotional intelligence. You want to create books like personal development, such as team building, leadership books, things like that. You want to read those type of books. So the first two books that I suggest every brand new brand partner that joins Paid2Save should read is the first one is Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. And that's very key to read that book, or get it on CD that you can listen it to and from your work as you're building your part-time business, Paid2Save, your fortune. What does that do? That actually teaches you how to think like someone successful. So it's important if you want to become successful, you got to think like one, and you got to understand how they think. So Failing Forward is a huge huge nuggets in that book that will actually teach you how to think like someone successful. The second book I want everyone to read is Winning with People. That's by the same author, John C. Maxwell. Now, Winning with People will teach you how to take action in building a successful team so you can have success here and pay to save. So those are the foundational books I have every brand new person read that I personally work with. Once again, the first one is Failing Forward, which teaches you how to think like someone successful. And the second one is Winning with People, and it teaches you how to build success and take action. So I'm going to close up with the first part by mentioning you definitely want to listen to the next few steps. The next few steps is done by Adamo Tolson. He's a phenomenal champion of our company. This individual has had so much success in this industry and has built organizations of thousands and thousands of people. He has a wealth of knowledge, and you definitely want to digest and listen to his training on the first 3 steps you need to take as you launch your Pay to Save business. So thank you for your time. Make it a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Matthew. I really appreciate that. And Matthew, I have so much respect for you. So I am so excited to be able to share with how you really get a fast start. It is absolutely incredible the way our business is set up. And really, I just want to start by the very first step. The first thing you need to do is discover your why. Why are you involved with Paid to Save? You want to understand what that means. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And it has to be just more than money. It has to be something beyond just, I want to make a lot of money, because that doesn't compel you. You know, there's a saying that if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not strong enough. Your why is what's going to keep you in this business when it gets tough, when things get challenged, when you get disappointed, when something happens where you don't really quite like that, or you feel like your business isn't going as fast as you want. As long as you continue to move forward, your business will grow here in a big way. But sometimes you need that why. I need it. Matthew needs it. We all need it. We need that why to help keep us going. So you want to write it down. That's so important. I always say to think is to put it in ink, but you write it down so you can see your why. You can visually see what's going on with your why. And with that, you want to create a vision board of all the things you want, your desires, your dreams. Put it down, get pictures so when you're seeing your why and you're reading your why, it literally is inspiring you. You feel passionate about it because it's that passion, it's that excitement, it's having that emotional connection to your why is what is going to drive you in this business. So you want to absolutely write down your why and know exactly where you're going and why you're going to go there. That's the real important part. Now, step 2 is to make a list of your contacts. Okay. Now, in this area right here, this should be the most fun that you have putting everything together, because you can put everyone on your list and you don't want to prejudge anyone, because those who you think won't will, and those who you think will won't. So rather than try to determine who's going to do this business or not, don't prejudge anyone. And we always ask them a simple phrase that pays anyway, so they can say yes or no, and we don't have to convince or push or prod anyone to do our business. Now, the examples of when you create your list is you want to get all of your cell phone contacts and you want to put them out there so you can see them and you know how to contact them. You want to get your email list, anybody that's on your email list. Like if you're at church, you want to use your church directory. You know, your coworkers, that you want to talk to them, have them on that list. You want to put anybody that maybe your kids are, like my son does sports. And so in his different sport leagues, I want to put the parents that I meet through his sport leagues and the coaches on that list. My daughter's a cheerleader at her high school, so I want to put the other cheerleaders' parents and the cheer coach and things like that on that list. So what it does, you see how it keeps expanding? You may be the head of your soccer team, or the team mom, or the team leader of the soccer team. You can get all of those parents. You could be the Girl Scout troop leader or the Boy Scout troop leader. Wow, there goes another set of parents that you can put on the list. And that is what makes this list bigger and bigger and bigger, because the bigger your list, the better your lifestyle can be. And that's what's so exciting, is that list it gives you the opportunity to transform those that are on that list, and they could see incomes and do things and create significance in their life that they never thought possible before. That's why, to me, the list is everything, and it's so important, and why it should be one of the most fun activities you do, because that's where all the possibilities come from. That's where the gold is. Now, your step 3, your goal is to fast track to brand manager by sponsoring your first 3 teammates. You want to get that done, because when you do that, now you're brand manager, and then you get qualified with 10 customer points. Now let's talk about how to do that. When you fast track to brand manager with a purchase of an endless fun pack for $399.90, you literally, when you sponsor your first 3 teammates, you're going to earn $30 for each teammate you sponsored. So that means times 3, you've made $90 in commissions, and you are now a brand manager. You completely skip over the brand supervisor position, and now you're a brand manager. All right, so now once you're a brand manager, look what can happen. If you had 10 members join your business in a week or a month, do you realize you just generated $900? In your part-time, spare-time, home-based business that you're doing out of the spare room in your home? That's outstanding. If you had 20 people join your business as a brand manager, do you realize that's $1,800 for the week, for the day, for the month, however you decide to build your business, how quickly it grows, how excited your team members are, how powerful and excited you are is going to determine the speed of your team. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 30 people join your business. That could happen in a day, a week, a month. That would generate you $2,700. And remember, this is our brand manager position. You've already been promoted, so you skipped over 1 promotion level. So this is only the 2nd promotion level in our business. And right there, someone can make $2,700. Have this happen every week. They're making over 10 grand a month. Ladies and gentlemen, and at 40 team members, imagine this, 8 people coming in your business every day, 5 days a week. So 8 people a day, 5 days a week would generate 40 team members that have joined you in business, that not you did, but your leadership caused other people to get excited like you are right now. They're getting excited. They're telling people, they're plugging people into our systems. And as a result of plugging people into our systems, and what do I mean by that? They're literally just going out saying, hey, here's the phrase that pays. They put them on the sizzle call, get them on the hangout. They get them in front of you or someone that's in your team, your upline, that's helping you talk to people. They're being edified. That person's being edified. Your person is excited. They're hearing the enthusiasm that you have, and they're hearing all the credibility and the respect they have for everyone else. And they're like, my goodness, I've got to be a part of this. And all we're doing is that over and over and over again. You could have 8 people coming in per day, 5 days a week. That's $3,600 for the week, for the month, whichever way you want to go. That's where that will take you. So it's exciting, the kind of money that you can make so quickly in our business. Now, this is what is important to understand. You have to get qualified. And to get qualified with customers, you need 10 customer points. And 10 customer points, the way we do that is this. Our ultimate discount club, what you have as a brand partner, you already get 3 points just being a brand partner. Then, ladies and gentlemen, for every customer that you go out and bring into this business, that you just have them download our app. So when we call them, I'm saying customer, but we call them connectors. But I want you to understand our connectors are our customers because they connect us to other customers. So here's what happens. Our connectors, when you give them the mobile app and you have them download that for free, do you realize that's 1 point? So it'll never be an issue to get 10 customer points because most people have 10 people downloading the app before the day is out. So, but again, 1 customer point every time someone downloads the app, and you get 2 customer points every time you bring a merchant onto the app platform. So ladies and gentlemen, it is easy to get our customer points, our 10 customer points to be qualified. Very, very simple. Everyone does it. It's not even an issue. Now, the other thing that's so exciting about our business is this. When you get 4, so see, when you become a brand manager and you get 4, now you get that, which remember you had the 3, now you have 1 more person that you have join you in business, and you get 4 and you pay no more. So get 4 brand partners and your ultimate discount club is free. That's why we say get 4, pay no more. Ladies and gentlemen, now what I want you to do, and you see right here on your screen, set your target date to become a brand manager. That's critically important. To think is to put it in ink. When you literally visualize it in your mind, when you conceive it in your mind, remember, whatever you can conceive, you can achieve. But when you put it down in writing, it all of a sudden it draws you to make sure that that happens. So make sure you set the date of when you're going to become a brand manager. That's one of the first things we're doing. That's step 3. Make sure you write that down. And I'm telling you, watch how you go in and get that. Watch how you accomplish that. And watch how good you feel about accomplishing something that was important for you and that sets you on your way to get flat out paid. So definitely do that. Now, what's going to happen next is, I'm telling you, we've gone through 3 steps. We only have 4 more steps in this 7 steps to a fast start. But what you're about to hear right now is from a gentleman who literally is the best trainer I've ever seen in this industry. And I've been in this industry a long time. I've had a lot of success. I've been trained by some of the very best. And this gentleman is absolutely the very best. And the reason why, because he has the ability to take information that could be complex, a lot of moving parts, but the way he breaks it down, first of all, he does it word for word, step by step, so you don't have to wonder. He doesn't leave anything to chance in his trainings. But not only that, what he does is he talks to you in pictures so you can visualize it, you can see it. And because you can visualize it and see it, you get crystal clear on exactly what to do, which helps you run, because there's nothing foggy. There's nothing that you don't have to, I don't quite get that. I don't know how that really works. He said it, but I mean, it's so confusing. I don't know what to do. You will understand exactly what to do, and you'll be able to do everything with a quickness. So I want you to make sure you're prepared and you're taking great notes. Get ready to take even better notes from my good friend, a person I have a tremendous amount of respect for, the best trainer I've ever seen, ever been a part of, the person who is a king maker, because he's developing kings and queens in his business left and right, and absolutely crushing it. Not only him, but his leaders. That's where you determine if that's a leader who has leadership worth following. And because he's creating and producing leader after leader after leader after leader, it is amazing the kind of business he's building here in Paid2Save. So that's why there's nobody better than could tell you exactly these next 4 critical steps that you're going to need to know so you get off to an absolutely blazing start. And that's none other than my good friend, Mr. Matthew Bobo.
I want to welcome you back to our Fast Start training. We're on step number 4, and that's to schedule a kickoff meeting. And I'm going to show you how to effectively build a successful downline and maximize yourself through leverage and building a really serious residual income. So to begin, let's talk about step number 4, and that's your kickoff meeting. Your kickoff meeting can be anywhere. It could be you can kick off your business at a coffee shop. You can kick off your business at a home, which typically your home is your best bet. But sometimes situations occur where you can't do it at the home, and that's fine too. But if you can do it at your home, that is absolutely your best venue. The second venue would be a coffee appointment where you can have a kickoff meeting there. And another way is you can do it through a conference call where you do like webinars or stuff like that. As long as you have one, that's the key. And you should have on your first, actually you should schedule your first emergency kickoff meeting within 72 hours. Schedule it. And you definitely want to have it your first 7 to 10 days in the business. And so I'm going to share with you how you set it up. So if you're having it in your home, how you set that up is very key. The first thing you want to do is keep it extremely simple. You don't want to complicate things. You don't want to have catering. You don't want to have a bunch of hors d'oeuvres and shrimp, cocktail and caviar and all that type of stuff. That's not duplicatable. When people show up at your house, you want them to look through the meeting and say, wow, I can do this. This is simple. But when you do elaborate things and you have a lot of, you rent a place or maybe you have catering or things like that, what goes through their head is that's what they have to do to have one of these deals also. And as a result, you paralyze them. And then they think, wow, I like this, but I can't afford that. And so you actually keep them from joining your business. You've knocked them out of the box. So that's why we do a goofy little 1 through 7 paper presentation. because we keep it really, really simple. We want everybody to look in the room and say, wow, I can do this. And someone who comes from success, they're going to look at it and they're going to go, wow, if these guys are doing it as simple as they're doing it, oh my gosh, I am going to knock this out of the park. So remember this, everybody's perception is their reality. So definitely keep your meeting really simple and not elaborate. You don't want to get a bunch of chairs. What I typically do is have chairs in the garage, and you pull out a chair as the guests come. Because let's say you set up 20 chairs and only 2 people show up. Now it looks like something's not going on. It looks empty. It puts a cold chill throughout the room. And so as a result, it makes people be more reserved and closed up. So that's why I typically don't set up chairs, because you don't know exactly who's going to show up and who's not going to show up. Versus, let me give you an example. Let's say you only had 2 chairs in a meeting and 20 people showed up. Now it looks like something's going on. See, there's power in the perception. So how you set that up is typically you don't have chairs set up. If you have a bunch of people coming, put them in the garage, and as people walk in, you grab a chair for them. And that way their perception is simple and it keeps the energy in the room. The next thing, how to set up a meeting, is you want to have dogs outside, no distractions whatsoever. The phone's off or on vibrate. You don't want phones ringing during the meeting. It completely distracts. And then what would happen is right at that moment that the speaker says something effective that person needed to hear to make that decision to join your business, all of a sudden the phone rang or a distraction occurred and they missed that one thing they needed to hear for them to make that decision to join your parade and join the business and become a teammate and a brand partner with you. So no distraction. Children, I love children. They're so beautiful and gorgeous. And trust me, they're way better looking than the speakers. So when that box of chocolates goes skipping and zipping across the room and doing somersaults, all eyes are going to focus on that beautiful, cute little child. And that person might have missed the one thing it needed to hear for them to make a decision to join your business. So love kids, but at that moment it is game time. It's business time. It's build your dynasty time for your home, for your family, and for your lifestyles and for your dreams. So we want to make it most effective. So they can be in the back watching video games or playing video games or watching movies or things like that. And so that way there's no distractions. Also at your kickoff party, this is not a time for you as the brand partner to ask questions. You're already in the business. You can call your upline 24/7, 7 days a week, and get your questions answered. Because if you start asking questions, it does a couple things. Number one, it throws doubt into the room. You're here on one hand, you're fired up about the greatest opportunity, and then on the other hand, you're almost like coming across like you don't know what you're talking about. So it confuses your guest. And so that's the one thing it does. It actually creates a little bit of doubt. And so it's not time for you to ask questions. Another thing it does, one question will stimulate more questions. And before you know it, you have a barrage of questions, and 2 or 3 hours goes by. And now the perception in the room is they have to spend 3 hours every time they have a meeting. And oh my gosh, this is too much time for me. I don't have time for that. So it paralyzes them, and all of a sudden they don't join your business, and they say, I have to go think about it, or let me sleep on it, or let me go talk to my wife, or I'm too busy right now. And then all of a sudden the excuses start to occur. And the reason is because you gave them the wrong impression and perception. So that meeting is designed for your guest. If your guests have questions, that's fine. But that time is not for your questions. So that is how to effectively set up an event, to keep it simple. And another thing you want to do is, I know you're going to have heard this presentation a few times, but you definitely want to be in the room. If this business is so important for them to be in your business, to do something great for their families, and as a result you get to benefit by that, then they deserve for you to be in the room paying attention. So if it's really that important, then why would you be off in another room making phone calls, or you're in the back yawning, or you're not there, you're not engaged? See, your people see what you do. And if you're so fired up like you said you are, then why are you not sitting in the front row just so engaged, just listening to the presentation? And besides, you definitely want to listen to the presentation. Why? Because the more you listen to it, the more you're going to be able to tell the Paid2Save story for people in your downline in your organization. So that's key to set up a successful kickoff meeting for your success and for your business. Okay, let's go to step number 5, and that's the inviting process. Now, in the inviting process, you have 3 ingredients for your success. The first ingredient is piquing interest. The second ingredient is the sorting tools. And the third ingredient is creating value for the person doing the presentation through a simple word called edify. So let's talk about the first ingredient. The first ingredient is piquing interest. Now, how do you pique interest? Well, excitement with urgency stimulates curiosity. That's how you pique interest. If you're excited, people's going to want to know why you're excited. They're going to be curious to want to learn more. So be excited. And some people say, well, I'm not very excitable. Well, then talk fast. People will think you're excited. And if you talk faster than normal, people are going to wonder why you're talking faster than normal, and they're going to be so curious and interested in learning more. So share that excitement with people. And sometimes I get people say, well, why am I excited? Well, why are you doing this business like we mentioned earlier in our fast start? You know, some of you say, well, I'm doing this business because I want to spend more time with my kids or travel more or whatever. Well, if that's why you're doing this business, isn't that a reason to be excited? Because now you have a vehicle that's going to give you money and freedom in the same breath, so you're able to do that more in your life and have more of that in your life. So share that excitement with people because your friends and family know this. Say, remember how we talked about we wanted to spend more time with our kids? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so fired up. You have no idea what I just came across. You got to hear what I just heard. Do you have a few minutes? And they say, yes. And then you continue. And so that's the first ingredient for your success in the inviting process. Then we go to the next ingredient, and that's the sorting tools. The sorting tools is key. And this is very, very important to understand this. It's not your job to explain this to the people you know. It's your job to highlight the tools, and they will do all the explaining for you. So you just want to get really good at just taking people through the 3-ingredient process. So the second ingredient, once again, is sorting tools. Now, what's the purpose of the sorting tool? Well, there's 3 keys to the sorting tools. Number 1 is it identifies who's interested in learning more and who's not. The next thing the sorting tool does, it identifies who's negative and not. See, you definitely don't want a negative person at your event, at your kickoff party, whether it's a presentation of coffee or over the phone or at a home meeting, wherever you're having your presentations. You definitely don't want a negative person there, because what does a negative person do? It destroys the bunch. It just messes up everybody, and all of a sudden the people that were going to join your business, now they got to go think about it. So I like to do it. I like to say it like this. I pre-qualify someone to decide whether they're eligible to come to a presentation or not. And I do that with my sorting tool. So let's talk about the sorting tool. So after I pique their interest with my excitement, I go to the sorting tool and I'm like, man, I'm going to send you this link of the Steve Jobs video. You got to see what I just saw. There is a revolution going on right now. I am so excited. I cannot explain this to you, but oh my gosh, you got to see what I just saw. People are doing phenomenal for their lifestyles and their dreams, and it's really, really huge. Wait till you see this. I'm sending it to you right now. It's only 3 minutes long. I'll call you back in about 5 minutes. So you send it over to them. They watch that Steve Jobs video. After that, you call them up. Tell them, now you know what I'm so excited about. What part did you like best? Now, this is key. I do not ask people what they think. First of all, I don't care what they think. And second of all, if you ask someone what they think, that means you're planting the seed of doubt, of unsureness. You're not sure. So I don't care what people think. I just want to know if they're interested in learning more. Let me give you an example. Let's say you and I have been friends for 10, 20 years, and we're out shopping, and I try on this shirt, and I look at you, and I go, hey, what do you think? Now, why did I ask that? It's because I wasn't sure. I needed you to say, wow, that looks good on you. See, I needed validation from you. And then you're like, wow, that looks good on you. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And then I go and buy it. See, So I never ask the question what they think. In fact, I always ask the question, what part did you like best? Saving money or making money or both? And I keep it positive. I keep it moving forward. And if they want to know more, have them watch the video on Paid2SaveHangout.com. And then from there, if they're not interested, then that's when you go into getting them as an app customer. I always approach people business first, worst I'll have as a customer. But if I approach customer first, a lot of times that's the best I'll get, because that's their perception is only a customer. So I always do business first, worst I'll have as a customer. So then if they're not interested, then I would say, would you do me a huge favor and download this free app? It will give you discounts at local and national merchants. Plus, it would really help me out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So then you get them as an app customer. And I like the huge favor deal because everybody likes helping their friends out, and it keeps it non-threatening versus trying to sell them. See, when you're like saying, hey, download this app, it's going to give you a discount, now you come across like you're trying to sell them on something. And nobody likes to be sold. So that's why I say, can you do me a huge favor and download this free mobile app? It will give you discounts at the local and national merchants all over the place. Plus, it would really help me out. And I really thank you so much for patronizing my business. And so then you get them to do be an app customer. Now let's go to ingredient number 3. And that's where you go into edifying the presenter. Now this is key. So those that are interested in learning more, then I go into, let me tell you who I'm working with. Now we have a generic little foundational edification thing, and it's real simple, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first of all, I want to explain the purpose of edifying. See, it's the purpose of edifying is to empower the presenter to be effective. That's the purpose. And what does edify mean? Edify simply means is building up the credibility of somebody other than you, showing respect from someone other than you. That's what edify simply means. I mean, think about it. How amazing is this? The more we say nice things about people, the more success we have. That is absolutely amazing. I love that. I think all businesses should be like that. See, in traditional business, you typically don't say nice things about your coworkers. Why? Because if the boss hears too many nice things about the coworker, guess who's getting the raise and not you? So that's why we typically don't. But not here. The more nice things you say about the people you're working with, the more success you will be able to have. And so that's really, really huge. So don't be afraid of edifying. In fact, edifying is a powerful tool. It is one of your most powerful tools. If you master edifying, you will master your paycheck. And so you want to create so much value for the person who's presenting, it's almost like they're walking on water. Now, and I'm going to show you how to effectively edify. But I want you to keep in mind, the word says edify. It does not say edify. So you don't want to be making up false truths and making things up about people. That's not good. That's not a good policy. You want to have integrity always when you build your business. But I can edify anybody brand new. See, the way Paid2Save is designed, because of network marketing, we're all expanding the company all over the entire U.S. So no matter where we're at, we're all leading the expansion of the Paid2Save company out here in the greater East Coast marketplace, in the great West Coast marketplace, in the greater California marketplace, in the greater North Carolina marketplace, or wherever state you're in. We're all leading the expansion of Paid2Save. So that's a great language to use by creating value for the person who you're edifying. Now, here's a script that we have, a generic one, and I'm going to kind of give you my own little take on that. Edify the person you are working with and invite your prospects to your kickoff meeting. And so here's a little script. I'm having one of the top individuals who is leading the expansion of our company in this area come into my house at such and such day or time. You need to hear this the way I did. Can I count on you to be there? That is a great generic edification. Now, it's also good to know a few things about the person you're edifying. so that way you can use that in your edification if you so choose. If you're someone that wants to keep it really, really simple, then you just go ahead and use the generic brand with your personality and your style. And here you don't want to make up things and stretch the truth. Just be genuine, be real, and you'll do great. Edification is so powerful. It will make or break your business. And so the more you empower the person who's going to present for you, the more they're going to want to learn more. See, understand this. If the movies is more important than meeting the person who's presenting, your prospect is going to the movies versus meeting the person who's going to share with them the Paid2Save story. So your job is to create more value than the movies. That's your job. And if you create more value for them to meet the person than the movies, then you'll have created an effective edification for the person who's going to present for you. So I'm going to prove my point. So let me give you an example. Let's say Donald Trump or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett walked through the doors right now. And they walked up to us and they said, give me $5,000 and we're going to make millions this year. Every person listening to this recording will do whatever it takes to make that happen. I'll sell my car, and I know you will too if I have to. You'll eat top ramen for a month if you have to. You'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. Why? Why? Because it's Donald, it's Bill Gates, it's Warren Buffett. And whatever they touch turns to gold. I don't care if they're selling bulletproof pantyhose, you're going to come up with that money. It doesn't matter. They don't even have to tell you what they're selling or what that money's going towards. If they came up to you and said that, you're going to make it happen. Now, here's what's interesting about that. They're strangers to you and me. You've never been to their house. You never shook their hand. You never met their wife, family, or kids. You never rode in their car. You never hugged them. They're strangers to you. Because if another stranger walked through the door, let's say Joe Jackson walked up to you and said, hey, give me $5,000. You're going to be like, I don't know you. You're not going to give him a penny. So why would you give Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, or Bill Gates money, but yet not the other stranger? They're all strangers. I'm going to tell you why. Because the media has edified them. The newspapers, the magazines, they constantly promoted Donald this, Bill Gates that, Warren Buffett this, and Warren Buffett that. And they're constantly edifying them. And so as a result, if they asked you to give $5,000, you will make it happen. Well, guess what? You're the media for your Paid2Save business. You're the media for your dynasty, for your dream, for your home-based business. You are. And how well you edify your Donald Trumps and Warren Buffetts and Bill Gates is how effective your business will grow and duplicate and create momentum, and you'll be able to see a financial situation like you've never seen before. But it all starts with us and creating value and building up the credibility of the person that's going to share the Paid2Save story and present for you. So edification is key. And let me give you an example. Let's say Mr. Johnson just joined our business. Well, I can edify him. He hasn't made any money yet, but I can still edify Mr. Johnson. I always put Mr. or Mrs. in front of the person I'm edifying. And let's say I'm talking to you. I said, hey, let me tell you who I'm working with. I just met an individual, Mr. Johnson, who's actually leading the expansion out here in the California marketplace. And I get to work with him the next 60 days. And I'm so excited because not only does he have a heart of gold and integrity, but this person is leading the entire West Coast expansion. And he's helping people double and triple their income in a short period of time. And he asked me who I knew in this area that I respected that kept their business options open, and I thought of you. Now, if I introduce you to Mr. Johnson, do me a favor. Don't make me look bad. Now, I just kind of give you an example, just to kind of give you a gist of edifying. Now, if you notice, I didn't say he was making $5,000 a month. I didn't say he was making $10,000 a month. No, why? Because that would be lies. That's not true. But he is leading the expansion wherever he's building Paid2Save business. He is a person that has a heart of gold and he's helping people change their lives. And so I use those things in my edifying process to create value. So that way they will have more value to come hear more versus going to the movies or a dinner engagement or something else out there. Understand this. If you edify effectively, you will have a financial bonanza like you've never seen before. Your only challenge in building this industry is getting people in front of the opportunity. That's your only challenge, really. That's your biggest challenge anyway, is getting people in front of the opportunity, filling rooms. And so if you effectively do this 3-ingredient process properly, and you're excited, and then from your excitement, you go through the sorting tools to identify who's interested in learning more and who's not. And from there, you create value for the person who's going to present like no tomorrow. And if you do the 3-ingredient process effectively, you'll build a dynasty for you and your family. So let's go to the next slide. And these are things to remember. Always pique interest. Don't satisfy curiosity. Never explain this business to your friends and family, even if you know the answer. Here's what I do. Oh, that's a great question. The person who's coming tonight, let's ask them the same question. See, I want you guys to understand this. Todd Strand, who's one of our phenomenal leaders of Paid2Save, do you know that he puts me on the phone with his prospects and I put him on the phone with my prospects? Why do we do that? Because it works. We could do the presentation ourselves. We can even train them ourselves. But why do we do that? Because if we're going to do this, we want to have success. And so I want you to have success too. So never explain this business to your friends and family. Use the tools. The next bullet is leave the presenting to your upline, expert. Also, when sharing the Paid2Save opportunity, be excited. And sometimes people say, well, I'm not excitable. Well, then talk fast. They'll think you are. The next one is edify the person you're working with. Show respect and say positive things about them. Invite as many people as you can to your kickoff meeting. In fact, I like to say this. Fill a room like you've never filled a room before. I say go for it. In fact, everybody should have 2 kickoff parties. Have an emergency one and then have a planned one. And you don't have to have only 2. You can keep having them until you get where you want to be. But you should have at least 2. And then the next thing is you never, ever, ever can over-invite. So let's go to the next slide. And as you're building your business, when you're inviting, you will come across 3 types of people. You definitely want to spend 80% of your time with positive people. Always spend 80% of your time with positive people. They're just agreeable. They're always upbeat. They're always happy. And you know who they are. Spend most of your time with those. The second type of person you're going to come across is question people. Only spend 20% of your time with question people. Why? Because sometimes we know people that want to argue about everything. Everything's a political debate. They're always right, and they're going to prove it. They're always right. And then after you have a conversation with them, you got to go take a nap for like 20 minutes. I'm not here to convince someone to do this business. I'm not in the convincing business. I'm in the sorting business. I don't want to convince someone to do this business. If I have to convince someone to do this business, I have to convince them to stay in this business. And that's exhausting. See, I can run with 1,000, but I can't drag more than 1. So don't spend all your time with question people. Send them to your website. Let them look at all the videos. Let them knock themselves out with all the technical stuff. Half will turn positive, half will turn negative. Spend no time with negative people. I call them dream stealers. Misery loves company. Typically, they're the brokest people you know. And, I like to say this. If you buy someone's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. Someone can only teach you to get where they're at. If someone only makes $20 an hour and you want to make 25, well, they can't teach you how to get that. They can only teach you how to get 20. They can't teach you how to get 21. So I love my mother and father more than anything, but they can't teach me how to make money because they don't have the lifestyle that I want. They can teach me how great values, to be good to people, spirituality, things like that, but they can't teach me how to make money. So sometimes negative people are people that are close to you, and they think they're protecting you. And they mean well, but that's just what it is. And then most of the time, it's the brokest people you know. And so, like I said earlier, if you buy their opinion, you buy their lifestyle. So don't spend any time with those. They will drain your energy. And I'm not in the convincing business. I'm in the sorting business, like I mentioned earlier. So spend no time with negative people. Now on step number 6, training's the key. I won't work with anyone without going and getting trained. You have to go get trained. If you're going to do this business and you want to have success, you got to go get trained. No one in the history of this industry has ever had success without going and getting trained. In fact, you want to know the facts? Here's the fact. No one in the history of this industry has ever had success without going to a minimum of 7 to 10 trainings. So if someone comes to me and says, I'm not having the success that I deserved, my first question is, how many trainings have you been to? And you go, well, I've been to 2. My answer is, well, then you got quite a few more to go. And some of you might say, well, I haven't been to 1. Well, there's your answer. No one in the history of this industry has ever had success without going and getting trained. So if you're wondering why you keep hitting a wall, if you're wondering why you're not having your breakthrough, if you're wondering why you're not having your aha moments, well, then you need to go get trained. And then you need to apply what you learn. And then you need to go get trained again and apply what you learn. And then go get trained again and apply what you learned. If you go through 10 trainings and you're applying what you learn, you're going to have some success. You're going to slowly but surely start to knock this out of the park and create something special for you and your family. So we have a lot of trainings, from conference calls to webinars, and conference calls does not count as a training. Those are just in preparation for the training. The Saturday and Sunday trainings are the key. The regional trainings, the leadership trainings, and the national trainings are key. Going to a physical training live is key. Conference calls and webinars are preparational trainings till you get to the main event. So trainings are key to this business. Next, there's training calls that you guys can plug into. You have the Saturday morning fast start training call, and you have the Monday corporate update and training call every Monday night. And those are the phone numbers and time slots that those calls occur. But there's also team training calls throughout the company. There's a lot of great team training calls going on. You definitely want to plug into the team training calls. Actually, your team training calls is probably your most important call, because how you can get excited all day long about an opportunity, but if you're not trained, how are you going to have the success that you deserve? So you definitely want to plug into those training calls. And to close up, I want to say thank you guys for joining us. I suggest you to listen to this over and over again. Every time you'll get a new nugget. We're so excited to have you a part of our company. We're going to do some phenomenal things. There's going to be more wealth and millionaires created out of this company called Paid2Save than this industry's ever seen in history. So let's all go live our best life. Why not? God bless you guys. Let's make it a great journey all the way to the top to everybody's success. Appreciate you guys hopping on this call. Let's make it a great rest of your day.